Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about Ethereum. I decided to record a short video even though today is Sunday, November 16th. But let's start with the Bitcoin chart. Take a look. It's currently trading at 94,168, whereas just yesterday it was trading at 96,000. I mentioned that either this weekend or next week we would update this week's current low. By the way, we haven't updated it yet. Let's remove all our markings and looking at the Bitcoin chart on the weekly candles, recall which key level we're waiting for. A correction could happen from that level. At the same time, let me remind you that we have a close on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange for Bitcoin futures at 95,045. This is a magnet level. Take note, this level, $93,738, is the target for our decline. And from there, a correction to the upside could begin. So most likely right now, maybe even during this review, we'll see this value for Bitcoin. Now let's open Ethereum. I had some markings here, but maybe we'll use them. So weekly candles. What do we have here? We had a key resistance level at $4,780. Then there was a key support at $3,879. This is some old markup I have, but we'll use it. It hasn't lost its relevance. We broke through it, and notice we also broke through the next support. $3,496. Ethereum has approached the 50 and 100 week moving averages, so technically its next target is in the area of $2,461 if these averages are broken. But the nearest target is the base of this green candle, which is $2,972, and most likely we will also see this level in the near future. If you look from a distance, what is a very important level for Ethereum, then it should be moved to this area. It doesn't differ much from what we had before. That's $2,929. So about $150 below the current market price. Now let's think about what we should do. First of all, from the perspective of weekly candles, this is a short. There are no other options. That is, there is no reason to open long positions. We've set the target at 2,929. If the decline continues, then the next level is most likely somewhere around here. That's $2,300. And right around here, we also have the 200-week and 300-week moving averages. Now let's take a look at the monthly candles. The month, of course, isn't over yet, but note that at the moment, by formal criteria, we have a bearish engulfing pattern, which indicates a potential decline of Ethereum towards the 50-month moving average. But we've already touched this moving average before. Here, we've touched it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and even broke through it on the 5th occasion. And here we have a small red line. That's the 100-month moving average. And so with a high probability, if this drop is not bought up by the end of the month and doesn't reverse in the opposite direction, if the candle closes below the $3,697 level, I'm showing right now why exactly this level, then we will see Ethereum fall to the area of $1,640 to $1,650 around the 100-month moving average, or maybe even lower. But it's too early to talk about that, and there is definitely no long position here either. And finally, let's look at the daily candles. That's where we'll stop. Pay attention to where we are right now, where Ethereum has come. It has reached the 300-day moving average, and with high probability, it will now update its minimum. But considering that there is a gap on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange for Bitcoin, most likely after the minimum is updated, we will see a rebound. A rebound upward, at least into the area of the gap closure around $95,000 for Bitcoin. Well, as for Ethereum, we already pointed out on the weekly candles where it could rebound to, if I'm not mistaken. On the daily chart, if we do see a rebound, it would be to the 200-day moving average, around $3,475 to $3,500. But the main takeaway, even on the daily candles, is that right here and now, as long as the current candle is red, we don't have any engulfing patterns, we don't have any divergences yet. But a divergence could form if we update the minimum now and get a rebound. So after the minimum is updated, we could get an RSI divergence. In that case, yes, we might see a reversal, and then we'll talk about it. For now, the situation here is bearish, and there can be no buying. Subscribe to the channel. As I said, the video will be short. Next time we'll take a look at a stock from the stock market. Goodbye.